Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Bits episode. You join me, Andreas, Comp, and Alex in the middle of the woods in Fontana, North Carolina, where we just got a phone call from our good friend Lacey, who's joined for so many Out of Spec road trips and other videos. And it feels like just the other day, but recently it feels like she was taking delivery of her Nissan Ariya, and we were filming her delivery experience. Well, crazy news. She called us and she said, "Hey, my lease is up. I already returned the car, and now I need to find another electric car to get around with." Now, we are working with pretty bad Wi-Fi where we are, so forgive some delays here. But Lacey, welcome back to the channel. We want you to make more videos because the Out of Spec viewers love you, and you've actually moved also to the East Coast. So give everyone an update on what's going on in Lacey's world. How is your Ariya ownership? How long did you have it for? How many miles? And what are you thinking next? What's the full story?
Yeah, so Kyle, you're actually the one that followed me to the East Coast. I gotta say, trendsetter over here. I actually moved to the state of Maryland, and I work for the state of Maryland as well. I'm a program manager. I manage a grant program for the Maryland Energy Administration. I love it. I love managing a grant. I'm the one with the money now. I give people money instead of working for a nonprofit, asking for it. So things are great here. Except I don't have a car anymore. So I returned it a few weeks ago. I think it was probably April 19th. And I was going to try to figure out life without a car for a bit because I don't live that far from work and I live really close to my coworkers. We can all carpool. I can figure out public transportation. I live right next to a water taxi. So there's so many options here, but I do miss having a car. So I'm looking to get another one soon. I drove that one. I had it, I think I had 24,000 miles in my lease, but I only got up to 20,000. So I haven't been driving that much since moving here because I only live like 5 miles from work and I just kind of walk everywhere too. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, but happy to be close to you again ish. Kyle, I bet we're about like 5 hours away from each other now, as opposed to what used to be like 10 minutes.
I know.
So
So, but still, it's worth it. If you get another car, you can come down and visit us at the track, and we could make more videos together. So I think that's reason enough that Lacey deserves to get an EV. Yeah. Okay, so before Lacey, you tell us what you think you should get or what your requirements are. We should all at least say what we think you should drive. And I'll go first and I'll let the other guys share what they think. So my initial reaction is daily range matters zero. So the car's mostly going to be used to get Lacey out of town on adventures, mostly to the out of spec track in North Carolina. So the question is, she's also got other friends in Raleigh. I know that. So you're going to have to road trip it from time to time. So you don't want to be stuck with a old Bolt at 50 kilowatts, for example, is my prediction. So I actually think the best car for Lacey would be a used Tesla Model 3 with FSD, with dog mode for potential animal options, with FSD, a lot of safety, ease of charging. She can use any type of charger, every supercharger, every CCS charger, and Chatamo chargers if the state of Maryland is still managing those. It's really the one best value option, incredibly reliable. And if it does break, Alex is right down the road to fix it. So my vote is Model 3. You guys cannot suggest Tesla now. So you have to suggest something else. Andreas.
Escalade IQ, hands down.
great rec. Thank you.
You're 3 years older now. You need like a soccer mom car.
Yeah, step up from the Model 3, exactly. Or excuse me, from the Ariya. So Alex, what do you think Lacey should get? A real suggestion.
That's a pretty tough decision, but I would guess if it's something that's going to have good road trip ability, maybe E-GMP, Ioniq 5 or EV6 might be a good option.
Okay.
So Ioniq 5 would have been my real suggestion, but
okay. So both in the Hyundai camp over here, more or less.
Yeah.
Comp, what do you think?
I would have said Model 3, so you took mine. Something with full self-driving would be great. I honestly don't know as much as these guys. I really know Teslas. But for local driving to get to work, get an e-bike. Coming from the micromobility side, get an e-bike for sure. But I don't know. Sorry.
I guess some other options would be, that came to mind would be like Mini Cooper SE, because Lacey's fun and she does appreciate kind of a premium experience. It would give you kind of something nicer than the Ariya, but it would be small and cheerful and kind of match your personality, which is important because a car should be an extension of your personality. So even the Mini Countryman SE would be cool.
Kona, maybe Kona electric.
Kona, but the road trip, it'd be the same as the Mini
the
SE.
road tripping, but it's like it's a Lacey car, a Kona.
A Kona. All right. So Lacey, you've heard our suggestions. We've got 2 Teslas, 2 Hyundais, maybe a Mini for some flair in there. What are you thinking?
First of all, Andreas, I'm so glad you said the Kona because I felt like that was an extension of my personality, and I actually wanted to get the Kona instead of getting the Ariya, but then I got a really good lease deal. Yeah, but I do love the Kona. I did try to test drive it, but they didn't have any available models near me. So thank you, first of all, for all of your suggestions. Kyle, I knew you were going to say the Tesla Model 3. You always say the Tesla Model 3. You're trying to get me back on that train. Don't know that I want to go that direction still. I don't know why. Just don't feel like getting a Tesla. I was thinking about the road trip, the Seattle to Boston road trip, and how much fun I was having in the Hyundai Ioniq 6. And so I test drove that the other day, and I loved it so much. And the back seat was so comfortable. I took some really great naps in that back seat. It was very comfortable, super cozy, very spacious. I know if I'm driving it, that doesn't matter because I won't be in the back seat, but it was really nice driving it. And I have a friend also that drives the Hyundai Ioniq 5, and he actually watched all of Corbin's videos, big fan of the Ioniq guy. And so just kind of being around the Hyundai Ioniq 5 kind of inspired me to look more in that direction again. And maybe I'm considering the 5 or 6, the Ioniq 5 or 6, but also maybe the Kona. I haven't been in one in a few years, so I do kind of want to gravitate towards Hyundai.
Well, this is interesting. So we were actually just at dinner next to like a super cool river, and we were talking, as people do, about the Hyundai ICCU failures. And Alex and I were having a fun conversation about really the one main problem with those cars.
Big problem area for them.
And they just extended the warranty for 15 years or 180,000 miles on the ICCU problem, which plagues E-GMP vehicles. So I would say that's almost less of a concern now, Alex. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it's less of a concern. I mean, if it's a problem, it still, takes the car out of commission, but at least it's something that's going to be covered under warranty in the long term. So it should, it at least makes it less of a severe, expensive failure to have to worry about, whereas it should be something that's going to be covered under warranty in the long term if it does fail.
And if it does break, you can make a video, and that'd be kind of fun to watch. And we'll, of course, drive up and rescue you.
Kyle says, content? Hello? Yeah, I'll absolutely be happy to provide that for you.
Okay, so Kona versus Ioniq 5 versus Ioniq 6. New, used, lease, finance, cash. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking used. I think I kind of want to own it now. I took advantage of the leasing options with the Ariya because there were so many good incentives out there. I got like $18,000 off of it, but now I don't have any incentives. There's no tax credits. The state of Maryland doesn't offer anything. I was even considering going back to Colorado, maybe using some of their tax credits. I don't know if I don't think I could because I don't live there anymore, but they increased their credits since last I heard. We don't have anything in Maryland. Our transportation incentives are kind of lacking. So I don't think I'm going to lease anymore. I think I'll probably just buy used.
And that's kind of what we're starting to see from people out there. Wouldn't you say, Andreas?
Yeah.
The big super cheap lease phase seems to be over, and the off-lease secondhand purchase seems to be coming in.
Right. Speaking of which, was there a buyout option for your Ariya, how Dave would say.
Yeah, my dad
Yeah.
says Ariya.
Araya. Yes, they said I could buy it off of them for I think 29,000.
Oh,
Oh
And I
wow.
saw similar models, similar used models that were going for like 22,000. So definitely didn't do that.
so okay. So now we know we're going used, which opens up a world of possibilities. It gets really exciting, and we should do a future episode kind of finding the right car. So here's a couple things to keep in mind. There have been multiple generations of Kona from actually, I believe 3 generations of Kona sold in our market. The original, which had some battery issues under recall and stuff. There was a facelift, a styling refresh, more or less. Then they came out with the longer wheelbase, right? I think the last final version of the Kona, longer wheelbase. Wouldn't you say, Alex?
I believe so. Yeah.
And okay, so that's 3 generations, but that is low voltage, relatively slow charging, still a fantastic car. My dad's owned a couple of them back in the day. He loved them. I road tripped one. One of our very early out of spec videos was driving one halfway across the country at 70 kilowatt charging. It was totally doable. Like, it was not the end of the world. It's just not maybe the best experience to own and live with for years to come, but it's totally doable. I think if you're going to own a car, my impression, and you guys tell me what you think, you should have a car with some headroom for the road trip. When you want to go back out to Colorado, if you want to go up to Vermont, if you want to go to North Carolina or Florida, that the road trip is just going to be fast and easy. And the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6 clearly are some of the best road tripping EVs out there, if you optimize them. Now, you're very EV savvy. You've already driven an Ioniq 6 across the country. You know how to initiate preconditioning, especially in the wintertime. Super important. Because you have that experience, I think you would be just fine with an Ioniq 5 or 6. I guess not much difference between the two other than shape.
Preference for shape and styling, I guess.
Yeah, which Ioniq 6s might be cheaper because less people like the way they look. We haven't looked at the market. And then the Lacey, the last thing I want to bring up is there's 2 generations of Ioniq 5 and 6. Right? Did 6 ever get 2 generations, or did they cancel it?
I don't
6
know
got
about the
canceled.
6. They have the 6N, which I guess you could kind of consider second generation, but we no
Yeah.
longer get the normal Ioniq 6.
So Ioniq 5 got a second generation to it,
Right.
which with a larger battery pack. Alex, do you want to talk
Now
about
they
those
build them
differences?
here in Georgia, right?
U.S. production, yeah, with
US
a NACS
production,
port.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that much about the differences from those from a architecture perspective, since I haven't worked on much of any E-GMP stuff yet.
I can walk you through it real quick.
Yeah.
So the main things that would matter between the pre-refresh and the post-refresh, if you will, the U.S. cars had NACS port, slightly redesigned interior, bigger capacity on the battery pack. I think it went from 77.4 to 86 kilowatt hours, 84, somewhere around there. Big difference. The charging performance is actually not as great as the early cars. It actually got slower to charge, but it's a larger capacity, and I think they just used less cobalt in the battery packs, perhaps. So it's a little bit more temperature sensitive. However, if you're going to be using the supercharger network, having the NACS port is great. And the boosting power. I don't know if you remember this from the Ioniq 6 road trip, Lacey. Remember how you had to avoid superchargers because it was an 800 volt car and it would charge really slow at superchargers?
I don't remember that. I just remember we didn't charge at a supercharger. I didn't remember why, though.
Yeah. So most superchargers are capped at around 400, 450 volts. And the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6 are higher than that. And so they have to use some technology on board using the rear motor to step the voltage up. And there's essentially a maximum power that can do, stepping the power up. On the early cars, it's around 80 kilowatts. On the newer cars, it's 125 kilowatts. And so it's a significant time savings on the newer car if you're going to be charging often at superchargers, which on the East Coast, at least I always just stop at superchargers. I mean, they're just everywhere. They're cheaper. They're pretty easy. But of course, there's Iona. There's many other networks coming out where you could get around doing that. So from a used perspective, I still think it would be worth getting an early car and maybe skipping out on the higher battery capacity and supercharging speeds of the second generation. The range is fairly similar.
15 miles difference.
15 in the EPA cycle. There's two different cycles though, so it's hard to compare them. So yeah, what do you think about everything we just laid out? The sort of high power charging and big range of the E-GMP versus the Kona stuff.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering, how do I know the difference between the first and second generation? Is it like 1 year it got cut off? Is there a different name? Like how can I tell the difference between? Okay, just the NACS port. Okay, that makes sense.
25.
Well, first impression, I'm glad you're not taking it out on me for not wanting a Tesla. So thank you for that. You've been pushing me that direction for so long.
It would be the easiest car for you to own. I don't know why you're against it.
Actually, you won't be a Model Y person, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I did drive that one in one of Kyle's videos as well. Yeah, I'm glad there's less issues with the ICCU failure because I do have some coworkers of mine in our big EV group chat that were talking about that with their Hyundai. So yeah, overall, I still don't know if I'd want the 5 or 6, but it's good to know that there's not that big of a difference if I got like the first generation versus the second generation. I will say, since I've moved here, I probably used a supercharger like once, so I don't drive nearly as much as probably all of you guys do. I don't really need to rely on that. I would like to come down and see you guys in North Carolina, but I'm probably not going to go on that many trips while I'm here in Maryland.
What shape do you prefer?
Oh yeah, that too. So I actually didn't like the Ioniq 6s for a really long time because of the shape. I realized I've gotten over that because I really like the comfortability inside the car. I do like the shape of the Ioniq 5, but now I'm indifferent on the shape.
So the nice thing is, I think they all come with like everything you would need, like even a base car, which we used on the trip that you're used to. I think that was a no option Ioniq 6, right?
Yeah, it was totally base.
So what you're used to is like the base level. So even if you found one with more stuff, it would be nicer than the one you already drove across the country, which, you can get like a limited with a glass roof and, better sound system and other stuff. The nice thing with the Ioniq 6 is that huge back seat. You put people back there and there's
back seat room is incredible in the Ioniq 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the backseat room. Aren't there not that many limiteds? I didn't see any limiteds.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the mix. Typically what Hyundai does is they prioritize the SEL, which is their mid-spec. That seems to be the majority of cars out there. And it comes with like nice options, nice to haves. The nice thing in the used market is typically if you get a higher option car, it may not be always so reflective in the used market. So if we go out and find you like a proper, Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, we might be able to find you like a fully spec limited for similar money to even a mid-spec car if we do some real digging. It also, of course, in the used market really comes down to the individual car that you're looking at, getting a proper history on it. Of course, in terms of battery health, these batteries tend to last a really long time. In the E-GMP stuff, they seem very hardy. So I don't think there's much to worry about with that, but it would be interesting to look into maybe doing a state of health calculation and just doing a quick once over on the car. Of course, Alex and I are pretty local. So if you find something local, if we find you a car, let's say between New York and South Carolina, we could take a drive over in a day and just do a little pre-purchase inspection with you for a video and say, yep, seems good. Let's rock and roll. Or, oh, something's fishy. Maybe it had a painted body panel on it or weird aftermarket suspension fix. Then it just comes down to finding that right secondhand car. So, yeah, Andreas, your thoughts on 5 or 6? What do you think?
I think I should go with a 6, honestly. It's, even though I don't like the design personally, it still makes me weirdly happy when I see them on the road. It's like, I don't know, it's still a cool car. And Yeah, you're more like an Ioniq 6 girl. I can see you cruising down the highway. Ioniq 5 is more like
It's like a family man's car.
yeah, like a dude car, not to stereotype, but it's just like a dude car.
Yeah, it's a little bit, even though it's cool and boxy, the Ioniq 6, like you have to be a fun person to drive that
Exactly.
car.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of eclectic.
So I would vote Ioniq 6 and then road trip.
What's the price point for this, or just a ballpark in the 6?
Yeah. Have you looked at all in the used market, Lacey?
I've looked a little bit. Yeah, it ranges. I'd say maybe 24,000 is like the average that I've been seeing. 22 to 24,000
If
about.
you plan on having it for the next 5-10 years, that's not bad at all.
hmm
Yeah. How long do you think you're going to have this thing, Lacey?
I honestly hadn't even considered that. Once I get the car, I don't plan on getting another one. This is a big hassle. I don't know about you guys,
Dang.
but I'm not an
I'm
expert.
finding
So
a ton in the $20,000 range. 20,
maybe
21.
I think it's really expensive in this area.
Yeah, well, that's a
Maybe
good.
I don't know.
The country is where you can get a car. Comp even we haven't announced. We'll deliver. We'll go get it for you, and we'll road trip it. So I would say you could shop anywhere in the country. We'll make a road trip video. Comp can go get it, and bring it right to Maryland for you.
I'm gonna look in Alaska. Would you guys road trip from Alaska?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Preferred.
Yeah.
It'd be quite a road trip.
But you got to get an e-bike then too.
Well, we've got
Oh my
enough
gosh.
e-bikes. We can just
Yeah,
give her one. We'll give you an
bring
e-bike.
e-bike with it.
Oh wait, okay. I gotta say, speaking of e-bikes, it's bike to work day. Did you guys bike to work today at all?
We actually did.
Technically, yeah. I
Yep.
just comp.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay, happy bike to work
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, we all rode bikes. We're in the mountains filming some videos at the Tail of the Dragon, and we all rode e-bikes today, except for you.
Yeah. I'm
You can
Yeah.
ride back to the cabin.
too fast.
Too fast. Too
Yeah.
fast in the car, or were you running? Running right next to their bikes.
Yeah, I don't know. You just kind of walked.
I'm not a bike guy. I never like biking.
Yep.
And then versus Kona.
Kona should be out the window.
Okay.
It's a nice car,
Okay.
but it just Lacey says she's not going to road trip much. She said the same thing to me when she got the Ariya, and then she piled like 10,000 miles in 6 months on that thing. And I was like, damn, girl, you keep driving that car everywhere.
Yeah.
You kept going to Colorado
Hmm.
Springs with it.
That's not a road trip. That is not a road trip. That's me going to
would
say hi to
go-
my family for a weekend.
But every weekend, and you would always DC charge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
remember
DC. Well, okay. Wait a second. I didn't have to pay for DC charging. There's because I had the free. Remember how I got free charging for a year because I had just bought it like a week before they cut off that deal. So I just charged everywhere, like free DC fast charging stations, and also at CSU. There's like 3 different locations where I could charge for free. So that was like the only place that I charged was at fast charging stations. Now I do not have to worry about that at all. Like I'll charge at work for free, and that lasts me like 2 weeks. So I don't drive that
Maybe
much.
Kona's back on the table. What if Konas are like, let's say Konas are a lot less. Let's just do a quick search right here.
All right.
Kona EV. Hold on.
What
One.
if there's a car that you never have to pay for charging and it's under 10 grand? How would you feel about that?
Depends on what it is. Are you trying to sell me a Tesla right
New
now?
Model S, old Model S.
It'd be an old Model Comp's car.
Yes.
Okay, so Konas are actually 15 grand.
Okay.
For $5,000 more, get an Ioniq 6
Yeah.
app all day. You would. That's just so much more car.
Which what year
Okay.
Konas were you looking at?
Those were all early Konas. It's
Early
amazing how
So
well
the
they've
big-
held their
so the
value.
big problem area on the early Konas is motor and gearbox
Oh yeah.
issues. It's a well-known problem to be aware of on those, especially if it's like a little bit higher mileage, over 50,000. It's a known problem point.
Kona's out the door.
Yeah, Kona. Just don't get a Kona. Yeah, gone.
Dang. They're so cute. I loved it when I first drove it. It had a great turn radius. I want to test drive it again.
Yeah, maybe if we find like a newer Kona.
Because they did redesign the whole motor and powertrain in it on the later ones, but it's just the first generation ones.
I feel like Kona is more like a 2-car solution car You need one with big range, fast charging, and a Kona for going to Whole Foods.
It's a good city car.
City car, yeah.
Yeah, it actually
Okay.
had good range. They were very efficient
Okay.
when they worked. But Ioniq 6 is that's a car you could just have for years.
Yep.
Never worry about it. When the ICCU fails, which it will, they'll replace it with a part that's hopefully better and is non-failure prone. Is that true? Does the new part work?
All indications seem to be that it's more or less the same, but
Oh.
there has been a new revision part number, but there hasn't been any confirmation on if there's an actual difference.
So if you can bear with the ICCU stuff for 15 years or 180,000 miles, which I feel like kicks the can down the road long enough, and there'll be a fix by then. I would think so.
I would hope so.
Then I think Ioniq 6, it's just cool. It's funky.
Yeah.
And
No.
I think it's different enough that it would, from the outside looking in, match your personality, and it would just be kind of a neat car.
Yeah,
Great.
no, that sounds good to me. I was already leaning towards the Ioniq 6 for the most part, so I'm glad you guys are just confirming that.
Yeah.
So
When-
Escalade IQ it is,
When we
right?
did the I-90 surge after the trip, I actually had the pleasure of driving that car back to Colorado, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
Yeah, see, it was nice. I really did enjoy the Ioniq 6, and just test driving it again a few days ago, I was like, wait a second, I think I'm kind of sold again on this one.
And anybody you drive around is going to have a blast in the giant back seat.
There you
And
go,
take
your friends-
excellent naps. I was the only one that was able to nap on that trip. It was amazing. I actually slept great. They were like some of the best naps I ever had.
It had nothing on the i7. Those had the best back seats.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, so cool. Ioniq 6.
Yeah.
So I guess the only things that would bother me about the Ioniq 6 would be you have to put in one pedal driving every time with the paddle. Easy enough to get over. The software drives me up a wall. So if you can live with the software or CarPlay most of the time, you'll be fine.
Yep.
Coming from an Ariya that showed gas stations, you're going to love the software in this. And I think the driver assistance is pretty good on that car, but you can also add Kona AI, I think, on E-GMP, which we would do for a video for you if that's possible. And then you'd have some great driver assistance.
And you'll make Corbin happy.
I
He's
could-
a former teammate.
Can you explain what that is? Kona AI.
Yeah. Can you look up if, do we have a thing? Let's see if Kona AI is available for Ioniq 6.
Lacey, what color would you get it in?
Oh, I don't know what colors they have. I am not picky. I just need a car now, so
Yeah,
anything.
Kama works great. So Kama is an aftermarket driver assistance thing. You put it on your windshield. I have it in my Rivian, and it makes the car like not FSD level of driving or anything, but just gives you awesome lane centering on the highway and does like lane changes and some other nice stuff. The HDA in the Ioniq 6 is pretty good as well, the highway drive assistant. And I think if you get a higher trim, you get HDA 2. It may have been standard on Ioniq 6, but it will do auto lane changes as well. So it may not be needed, but since you're close enough, like it might be fun for us to retrofit it onto your car. You'd enjoy it and we get some videos out of it. So yeah, having you close by would be cool. And an Ioniq 6 would be good to have as well locally.
Yeah, great.
Just from a selfish perspective, not that it really impacts anything at all. I think it's a cool car.
Great choice.
So next video in
Yeah.
the series, we got to find one for her.
Yeah, and then delivery video.
Then delivery video. Then first drive video.
Let's drive.
Then first road trip video.
Range test.
Then fixing video. It's all for content.
Coffee runs.
I'm coming right back into out of spec. I can't wait. This is gonna be so fun.
Awesome. Sounds good. Comp, any final thoughts on Ioniq 6?
Can you fit an e-bike in the back? Big enough trunk to fit my bike in?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In the
Alright.
back seat, you can fit anything in that bad boy.
Super quick. How was your road trip in the Ariya from Colorado to Maryland? How was the experience? Just 2 sentences.
I
How's
didn't-
towing, range anxiety?
I didn't drive it. We towed it
Oh, you did.
because I didn't want to drive.
You towed it?
And yeah,
Oh, I know that
towed it,
actually.
yeah.
Put it on the U-Haul
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Final thoughts, Alex?
I think the Ioniq 6 is a great option.
It's a serious car. Here's the thing. It sounds like you don't need the fast charging or even that long of a range, but it's just nice to have
Nice
it.
to have. Yeah, exactly.
No one's going to
It is
complain.
nice to have it. Yeah, and I don't know how long I'm gonna live in Baltimore either. I don't think I'm gonna live in a big city much longer. So it's nice to have it for the future. I don't know. There's a lot of people that commute for like at least 40 minutes, usually like an hour. So like it's nice to have that option down the road, especially.
Yeah, Raleigh's really nice too. So you should consider moving closer and making more videos.
Yeah, I'll consider it.
All right,
Everything's
well,
on the
good
table.
stuff.
I'm young.
Yeah, good stuff. I love the Ioniq 6 actually. I remember reviewing that car in Arizona for the first time and I was just like, no one will buy this thing because it's so weird, but it drives amazing. Like you get in that car, it's quiet, it's comfortable, it's a very high quality driving experience. The only things that really drove me insane about it were the software, but when you drive it hard, it's fun. It's like it's a car you can do everything with, and I think if you're going to own a car, it should have no limitations, and there's no limitations on the Ioniq 6. That's a serious vehicle and a significant step up from the Ariya just in terms of architecture.
Yeah, it's gonna have a lot more, I think, better compartments up front too. Like the Ariya, it's cool that it had like the amount of space that it did by the seat, but I'd rather have something like I could put my water bottle in, and it just didn't have the best cup holders for that, and I didn't have anything else I could store stuff in. It was just
See,
like
this
a
is
little
why we
flip,
need Lacey next.
basically.
I'm over here talking about 800 volts, and she's like, "Does my water bottle fit?" I love it. This is why it's so important that I don't review
Wait.
cars, and Lacey does.
Okay. Also, the buttons. Okay, water bottles and buttons. Like, I want more buttons, especially for the heated seats. I had to
Wow.
tap like 3 different things, and then it was glitching in the Ariya. Like, it took so long, and I'd have to like tap it a lot just for it to
Is that
show
a-
up.
Is
So,
that a button thing, or is that just garbage software? Like, if you could just hit a button on a screen and it worked first time, why would that be a problem?
you see, that's just not my experience. I didn't know if that was even an
You
option.
drove my Model 3 for a bit, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I forgot. I have bad memory, so forgive me. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe
You're right.
give
It
you-
wasn't that bad, but it's nice to have like the feedback of a real button rather than a screen. Kids
so
nowadays always on their
Yeah,
screens.
never drive a Tesla. But
We're back.
yeah.
We're switching
Actually, what's
buttons.
funny though is the Ioniq 6 does have screen heated seat controls,
Mhm.
at least as an option. I don't think it actually has a button. I think it uses that little touch screen for the heated seats by your right knee.
Do sexy buttons exist for
No.
Ioniq?
No, it's only Tesla.
Mm.
So Lacey, why don't we give you a Tesla to drive just for like a week?
Please
Just in
do.
case
Give
that
me
bad
anything.
word.
Let me drive something so that I stop asking my friends to borrow or to give me rides. That would be awesome.
Would you drive the Leaf limo?
American flag, leave limo.
The Leaf limo. What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you-
we have a Nissan Leaf that's a limo.
with 2 batteries in it.
What do you
It's
mean
like-
it's a limo? Like it's like
It's
Yeah,
a stretch
it's
like
limo.
extra long.
Yeah,
So I have
The Nissan
I have
Leaf-
like garage parking. Can I park it in a garage? Like,
you over YouTube video. I can't. It's
See here.
painted in a giant American flag.
oh my god. Do you want me to drive that?
No, I actually think so. You have level 2 charging at work, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to bring you like the Spark EV or something like this,
Mhm.
so that you can like live with a city EV for a week or two and see if like you would be the perfect use case for some of these $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 used electric cars that are on the market.
Oh, that actually sounds great. I would love to test that out.
That'll give us some time on the Ioniq 6 thing to hold you over, and then we can
Mhm.
keep an eye on the market a little more. Who knows what will happen, viewers? But Lacey, I think we should give you the Spark, the e-Golf, or the i3. The e-Golf would be baller on the big wheels in
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
People would look at that car, and I think you should try a low range EV for like a couple weeks or however long, or just keep it until you want to give it back until you're ready to get a car.
Well, that sounds great to me. I'll drive whatever you want. If you really want me to drive this limo, I will as well. Just, I must warn you, the potholes are really, really bad in Baltimore. So,
You didn't mention that yet.
hmm.
So what's the best pothole EV?
Escalade.
Yeah, Escalade.
150 like.
Yeah, what about a Lightning?
I'm not gonna drive a truck. I don't want to drive a truck in a little city.
Okay, well, I think this will be fun. We'll get you something to drive to hold you over, like right away.
So
We'll have it towed up to you, and then you can at least have some wheels, and then we'll
Okay.
work on getting you the Ioniq 6.
All right, sounds good to me. I'm really looking forward to this. Happy we're keeping in touch again.
Yep, totally fun. Lacey's. I forgot you were. Well, I know you're on the East Coast. And every time I drive through Baltimore, we're like on a trip. We were on the Eastern Edge last time, or I'm like going to see my parents, and I'm like, oh, hey, Lacey's here. Maybe we should see her. But you should come down and visit.
That's crazy you say that. I don't hear a peep from you, Kyle. I didn't even think you were around.
I wave every time I drive through.
Just at the city.
Hmm.
Yeah, I go through the
Got it.
Baltimore Tunnel,
Okay.
and I go, hey.
Okay, I actually live like really close to the Baltimore Tunnel, so
Oh,
that's
perfect.
crazy. I haven't seen it.
Oh, really? You haven't been through it?
No, you're waiting.
No, I
Oh,
haven't
she
seen
doesn't see
your
my
wave.
she also doesn't have a car. So.
Yeah, she doesn't have a car either, so she couldn't go through the tunnel.
Yeah.
We got to change that right away. Lacey needs a car. All right, we'll get.
Yeah,
I'll
how
get
soon
something,
can I get a car?
by the end of the weekend, probably.
Oh my gosh, that's fast. I'll be waiting
All right,
patiently
we'll make
in
it,
that
we'll make
tunnel.
it happen.
Good
All
luck
right,
today.
sounds good.
All right, fun stuff. Ioniq 6 and a city car for a story until then.
Awesome. We already ordered one, by the way. So
All right, Lacey.
Nice.
Talk to you later.
bye.
All right,
See ya.
sounds good. Thank you.